We slay spires, roll realms, and toss Torg. This is Shelf Love. Welcome to Shelf Love, the series where I play and review all the games on my shelf with the goal of playing all 100% of them. Speaking of which, I forgot to mention where I was at last month. So I have a modest collection of 56 games, not including those the other side of the room that are already on eBay ready to sell. Last month I played 3, so that's 5%. Yay! I will look at this month's ins and outs after we look at the games I've played this month. The first of those is Rolling Realms, which is a roll and write game, and everybody gets 3 realms, and these realms are all based on popular, you might say, board games. Some are popular, some not so much. And you roll 2 dice, and you apply the result of that dice to 2 of those realms each round. You're going to play over 9 rounds, and each of the realms work completely different and all score in different ways, and you can gain resources that you can spend to do extra actions and change the numbers on the dice and things like that. And it's all very fun, and then you play 3 rounds. Each of those rounds is going to have 3 different realms, so you're going to look at 9 different mini-games. After those 9 turns, you're going to get a number of stars from those 3 realms, and then you wipe all those realms off, you get 3 more out, you do that again, and then you do that 1 more time. So whoever's got the most stars at the end of those 3 games wins. Now, I accuse this game massively of nepotism when it first came out because it is from Stonemaier, and a lot of the original realms within the first box, this box, were Stonemaier games. So it was like a case of using your own games to make games. Felt a bit weird, but it was cool. I liked it, and I kind of went off for it a bit. But ever since then, more games from different publishers have started creeping in, including my favourite game, Terra Mystica. So I picked up this on sale ages ago, and I was kind of like, I don't really want to play it. And then I went to buy a lot of the expansions, and they're quite expensive, and there's a lot of them, so I didn't bother. But then I got Rolling Realms Redux, the newer version, and I ended up picking up a load of those realms anyway. And yeah, I really like it. I highly recommend if you like roll and write games, because the variability of every game you play is going to be completely different, because all those 3 realms are going to change the way you play. And each round, you're going to play with 3 realms that have probably never played that combination before, so it's going to be different. So I recommend Rolling Realms. The next game I played was 9 Tiles Pokemon DoKoDa. And in this, you quite simply flip over a card in the middle of the table, and it has these 9 Pokemon arranged in a certain order. And players have tiles with those Pokemon on. The tiles are double-sided. And the first person to match that pattern wins the card, and the first person to get 4 cards wins. Now this, apart from eBay and stuff like that, is available in Japan only. I picked this up while I was there. Not expecting too much from it, but I actually think this is quite fun. I do enjoy playing it. It's not the best game in the world. It's good for a filler. It's definitely staying on the shelf. Spoiler free for this next one, I played Unlock. This is the Heroic Adventures, and I also played Epic Adventures. And Unlock is the series of escape room style games where you have an app, and the app not only works as a timer, but it also works as a hint system, and it also works to tell you a bit of the story as well. But how it works is you have a deck of cards for each of these scenarios, and there's 6 scenarios across these 2 boxes. And let's just say you have a key that's card number 10, and you have a door that's card number 12. You would then add the 10 to the 12, 22. You search through the deck, look at card 22, turn it over, and it'll say, okay, you've opened the door, this is the room you're in now, discard cards 10 and 12. And that's sort of how it works. You play your way through stories. They are very interesting because they are very different. For example, this one here uses a lot of AR, augmented reality. The Sherlock Holmes one is like playing the Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective a bit. There's a story. Alice in Wonderland is weird. This one puts you in a black and white monster film, which is really cool. This one has a lot of errors in it, I found it quite difficult, and some of the things didn't really make sense. And this one, you're playing 4 different characters, so that would be better to play 4-player. I play them all solo. And if you like puzzles and you like escape room style games, I definitely recommend them. They are one use though, so once they're played, they're gone. But I bought them second-hand cheap, so I'll sell them on second-hand cheap and pick up some more as I go. Although playing those 6 scenarios, it did take 6 hours to play them all, and it did make me feel very stupid. Okay, you might be wondering what this gap is. It's the next game. It's the game I've got set up to play. Slay the Spire, the board game. So let's flip the camera and point it down at the table. Okay, so here's Slay the Spire. I've just lost at the end of Act 2. The boss defeated me at the end of Act 2. I got knocked over. I was playing the Silence. So basically what this is, it's a deck builder based on the video game. And you start here. You have this little boot that tells you where you are on this map. And you work your way up these paths, encountering all these different things as you go. So you're going to count enemies. Some elite enemies that are a bit tougher. You have campfires that you can recover some health. You have question marks, which are events that you draw off the event deck. You have shops where you can buy new cards and new potions, and you have relics that give you better abilities and stuff. And then when you're fighting these monsters, you just have their cards out here, and you track what actions they can take. Here's the dice that you're going to roll, and this one's going to determine what this one will do on its turn. So this time it's going to deal, because I rolled a 6, it's going to deal 2 damage and give me a dazed card which are there. They just clog your deck up. Whereas enemies like this is the boss. It's going to do that on turn 1, then turn 2 it will do that, turn 3 it will do that. And how we fight back is we have a deck of cards. You have things like this strike. You see it costs 1 energy and it deals 1 damage. And there's lots of others like this one. Look, it costs 1 energy but it deals 2 damage, and you draw a card and discard a card after you've played it. There's one that's dash, which costs 2 energy, but it deals 3 damage and gives you 3 shield. And you may switch rows with another player, because when you're playing multiplayer, you have all these different rows, and everybody's going to have their own column of monsters to kill. And when we talk about shields, your block, sorry, you measure your block on here. Here's where your HP is blocked. There's where you mark your energy that you're spending. And when enemies attack you, they're going to take your block off first before they start taking your health off. And basically, you just need to try and get to the end of Act 3 to win. And the cards are really nice. The game's really fun. I do have a problem though. So this game, it says on the box 60 to 90 minutes. Now that's more like 60 to 90 minutes per act if you're playing multiplayer and you play 3 acts. You can play 1 if you want, but if you want like the full game experience, it is played over 3 acts. So you're looking at maybe 3 hours plus for a multiplayer game. I'm not going to be able to convince people to play a co-op multiplayer game for that long. So taking it to a game day is probably not even worth trying. I haven't tried it yet. Playing it solo is a lot quicker, maybe 30-40 minutes per act. That's fine. For a solo game, that is perfect. But this is a card game based on a video game. The video game does all the shuffling, it does all the card drawing, it does all the randomness. It makes sure you're not playing things incorrectly, like I did a couple of times where I forgot some abilities or I forgot some card that I didn't play. And most importantly, this is the collector's edition. It costs, 3 figures nearly. It was pushing up that way. The video game is, I think, about £6 on Steam, and you don't need a powerful PC to play it. You just need quite a decent one. It's quite an old game at this point. Slay the Spire 2 is coming out soon anyway. So the problem I have is I'm going to keep it for now. It's staying on the shelf for now, but I don't know for how long for. I really enjoy playing it. When I was playing it, I was really getting into it, but I couldn't, rather than sitting here and playing this card game, I could just go to the other room onto my PC and play the video game, and it'd be a lot smoother, a lot quicker, and I can watch telly while doing it as well, which is something. So for now it's staying on the shelf, but in the future we'll see. But let's have a look at the games that are leaving the shelf. But first, the incomings. The incoming was Rolling Realms Redux. This is the newer version of Rolling. Well, it's the same. It's like a standalone expansion, but I recommend you buy both because they'll both have different realms in that you'll want. I bought this from Chaos Cards in the UK. It was only about £20, something like that, which is cool. I did buy 9 of the expansions. That's £4.50 per expansion. It's just a booster pack with, I think, six cards in, which is quite a lot, but it does mean you get to play a lot more different realms. And there's things like Libertalia, Terra Mystica, and lots of other games as well. You'll be able to see them online. And just wait till Stonemaier Games has a sale. That's my advice for that. But that's the only one in. But because it's the same as Rolling Realms, it doesn't really increase the number of games on my shelf, so I'm still at 56. So we can look at the first of 3 games leaving the shelf this month. So obviously the 2 unlock games, I've now played all 6 of these scenarios. Had a really good time, even though, like I said, it did make me feel very stupid. I've played these once. They can go and move on to somebody else who hasn't played these ones yet. So the next one was going to be the game that I played this month instead of Slay the Spire. But as I sat down to relearn how to play it, and I watched my video on it, how to play it, and I was just like thinking, there's so much to this game, I just can't. It is the Borderlands Mr. Tug's Arena of Badassery. It's a miniatures heavy game where you're playing scenarios with the different Borderlands characters. Again, another board game based on a video game. And I just think there's quite a lot to it. The system's really clever, and if there was more than just me, if there was like 4, because you have to play 4 Vault Hunters when you're playing a game. If there was like 2, 3, 4 players, and we could share the responsibility of remembering the rules, then I would definitely keep it. But I'm kind of fell out of love with the Borderlands video game. I haven't seen the film yet, although I've not heard anything good about it. So it's a case of, what am I supposed to do with this? Because if I'm going to play a miniatures heavy game, I'd rather play Marvel Zombies, because I haven't played that for a while. I'd rather play Marvel United. So I'm very specific with my solo board gaming, because I don't like to spend too much time on it. It's not something I particularly enjoy doing, playing board games solo. So it has to be things like Unlock, where I've got to really focus, or Slay the Spire, for example. So Borderlands is leaving the shelf. So there's one more also leaving the shelf. So whereas Unlock and Borderlands will be entering the second-hand market, and hopefully somebody will take that off my hand for a reasonable price. This one is not getting sold. This Terra Mystica, I'm taking it off the shelf because I don't know when I'm ever going to play this again. I'm already selling Gaia Project because I know I won't play that. I haven't played it since 2017, I don't think. So I haven't played it in the last 7 years. Let's get rid of that. This has been played to death by most people. A lot of people played it a lot online and they have kind of solved it. And it's been replaced now with Age of Innovation, wherever that is, there. It's been replaced by Age of Innovation, which has the more variable setup, which means it's harder to solve because there's too many variables, there's too much to think about. And there's always going to be players better than me. Most players are going to be better than me at it, but it can't be solved like this. People know exactly what to do when playing Terra Mystica because of that. It lacks that variability. But also there's Terra Nova as well. So if you're playing with people who maybe don't want to play a game as heavy as Terra Mystica, Terra Nova is a good option. So 0 in and 3 out this month, and I've played 3 more games, which means I've played 13.2%. Yay! Now at this point I'd normally review one of the game days that I went to, one of the venues, just to see what kind of clubs I play at and what I think of them. And this month I can't do that because there was a change of venue. I went to this very nice pub. It was a lovely pub on the outside, it was nice on the inside. In the room itself, the tables were really decent, the chairs were really good, and it was quite a good space inside, and the food was nice. Look at this mixed grill I had. It was really, although my stomach the next couple of days was a bit off from all of the meat, but it was very tasty. But because it wasn't that group's regular venue, then I can't give it a review, so I'm going to wait till January when I'm there next, and it's already a cold venue. January the 4th is going to be absolutely freezing. So I go to my comment of the month, which is from somebody called Death Cave. They said, "I'm so glad I found this video. My friends and I nearly passed after trying to figure out the instruction booklet, but this video really cleared things up and helped us discover one of our new favourites." And that's from one of my older videos, How to Play Raccoon Tycoon. It's always really nice to get comments like that because they're the kind of ones that keep you going, especially when you have to deal with some negative comments as well. And I do want to deal with negative comments in the future because there's something I want to talk about, how I choose to respond to comments, especially negative ones, horrible negative ones, not constructive negative ones. But yeah, it's always great to have lovely comments like that. So there's a hint for you to leave one down below. You don't have to, that's fine. And that's it for this episode of Shelf Love. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember to like, share and subscribe and all that good stuff. And do subscribe because next week, my top 50 games of all time. That's going to go live just before I go to Essence. That'll be good. So next month also, the game club that I'm going to review next week will be Essence Spiel. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.